Magic the Gathering. What is Commander? Now, the Commander format is very different from Standard. This is a Commander deck. This is a Standard deck. Now, a Commander deck is a deck of 100 cards. And you can't have more than one copy of anything except basic lands. You can have more than one basic land, which is obvious, so you have actual land. So, how the Commander format works is, your Commander has to be a legendary creature. Now, if it is not a legendary creature, it must be like, there are exceptions to every rule, like with Daridi, or however you say his name. On the bottom, it says, Daridi, Scrap 7th can be your commander. Meaning this can be a commander, and it's a planeswalker. Now, commanders sit in the command zone. Personally, for this commander deck, let me find him. I run a... Here we are. Feldon of the Third Path is my commander. Personally, for this deck. Now, your commander sits in the command zone. So, you can cast them from any moment during your basically during your upkeep and stuff like that, from the command zone. And once they die, you can choose to put them in the graveyard or back into your command zone. If you put them back into the command zone, add an additional 2 mana to the cost of it. So if he dies twice, that's an additional 4 mana put on, going from 3 to 7, like that. Matter of turns. So that's why people need to choose their commander. That's why people need to choose their commander carefully. So, picking a commander is what I'm going to talk about next. I'm not going to actually talk about building a deck. I'm just going to talk about picking a commander and what a commander is, what it does, stuff like this from here on out. Now, for a commander, like I said, it needs to be a legendary creature. It doesn't need to be a mythic. It just needs to be a legendary creature. There are legendary creatures that are just rares, and that's not a bad thing. Now, in this pre-constructed commander deck I got, there are 4 mythics, 3 possible commanders. Now, one of those commanders is not a mythic. It is Tuk Tuk the Explorer. Now, he's actually the same mana as Feldon. But why did I choose Feldon as my commander instead of him? Because whenever Tuk Tuk dies, I create a 5/5 colorless token named Tuk Tuk the Returned. I have that token like over here somewhere. There's one of my worm tokens. Where's my Tuk Tuk token? You gotta be kidding me. I can't find Tuk Tuk. It's so fun to say that name. Like, if you're actually this far in the video, just say Tuk Tuk out loud right now. Just see how fun it is. Say Tuk Tuk. So, basically, if he's my commander and I put him in the command zone, Tuk Tuk the Return doesn't come out. Because it's only when he dies. They're not dead if they go to the command zone. That's also what you need to think about. Why I didn't put my Planeswalker as my commander? Well, let's see. Feldon has the ability of, for 2 in a red, you put a token that's a copy of any creature in your graveyard, except as an artifact as an addition to its other types, and it gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. So after you attack, sacrifice it. And after you're done summoning extra creatures, sacrifice that. Let's say I have... Where is a good creature to use as this example with? Why not Tuk Tuk the Explorer. Just because I need something. I can bring Tuk Tuk back. Basically, but he doesn't get the Tuk Tuk the returned if he dies. Because he won't die, he'll be sacrificed. So if he does die, theoretically, technically, you could get a second one. See, why he's the commander is because he can do this every turn. So, once I do it, if he dies, I can just bring him back for 2 extra mana, for 2 in a red, just summon him again. Now, further into commander decks. Now, all cards must be colorless or the same color as your commander. You will get disqualified if you have a red commander and a green card in your deck. But you can have colorless, and any mana, like any basic lands like islands and swamps, and a red deck will be counted as colorless mana instead of blue or black. What else is there to talk about besides you can't have more than 1 copy of every card, including your commander. The only card you can have more than 1 of is basic lands. So, which makes every game different, fun, and you also have 40 life instead of 20 life. So that's why it's good to have a mixture of small creatures and large creatures. So at the beginning of the game, you have some small creatures you can rely on. Further into the game, you have dragon. For my deck, at least, you have dragons. Tuk Tuk. Love that name. You have a battle sphere. Stuff like this. An Eldrazi that you can rely on. So that's basically a little bit about Commander. The Commander format. It's very different from Standard. For more research, just look it up. I haven't done my full research yet. I just didn't have time to record and upload because it's late.